All right, this is everything that I got for the month of July 2022. Pretty good stack this month. A couple of new books I added to my pile. Trades are a little low this month, but that's okay. Last month was pretty heavy, so here's something to catch up. First up, more Hellboy one-shots. There's like a Hellboy one-shot every single month, so I'm never surprised, but they're always just fun little stories. This one I actually opted to get the Magnolia cover. I usually just say dealer's choice and see what they give me, but I just really dug this art. And as always, just kind of wish Magnolia was doing more comics, but he's a busy guy, so I should say specify drawing more comics, but he's writing a ton of stuff. So Defenders Beyond. So this is a sequel to the last Defenders series I picked up. Same team, Al Ewing and Javier Rodriguez. Pretty much a brand new team except for Taya. Galactus' mom is back, but then you got Loki, Blue Marvel, Tigress, sorry, that's interesting, and then America Chavez, and then the jaw-dropping final edition on the last page. So, it's kind of cool. We'll see what that is. But yeah, this picks up where I shouldn't say it picks up where there were no dangling threads in the last series. It just kind of ended on a nice note. So kind of interesting to see where this one goes. And I really love this artist, so anything he's doing, I'm gonna pick up. Yosai Yojimbo keeps going. Issue 29. Still on the road with his cousin, still getting into adventures in some trouble. And just really nice one and done stories. Like usually 1 or 2 issues, really tight, like a masterclass, honestly, in storytelling. I love it. This is a new mini I picked up as well. I think it's like 4, maybe 5 issues. It is by Al Ewing again. Ewing? I don't know really how to pronounce his name correctly, but each issue is going to be like a different version of Ant-Man from a different point in Marvel time. So obviously you got the original costume looking there, and then by the time it gets to the final issue, it's like into the far future. So it's kind of like an anthology. So yeah, it looked good. It sounded cool. I like the premise, so I picked that up. And then a new issue of The Lonesome Hunters. I didn't have issue 1 in my last. Well, I didn't think I got issue 1 the previous month in June. So when I was opening up my box and going through and see the stuff for July, I saw issue 2. I was like, wait a minute, I don't have issue 1. So I was like digging through the books of it. And I was like, no, I don't remember reading it at all. So I contacted my comic shop and I was like, I just didn't get it. I didn't think they missed it. I don't know what happened. But as they were doing that, I happened to go back and I finished the last couple of issues from that month that I didn't read. And the first issue was just double packed inside one of the bags and boards had 2 books in it. I just didn't notice that I was also flipping through them originally. So, but I'm a big fan of Tyler Crook. I really like his art. He's done some like Hellboy stuff. He's got kind of a spooky horror vibe through his art, and he wrote this story as well. So it's about this older gentleman's kind of I guess you see he's like a retired monster hunter investigator, and him and a young boy have kind of teamed up to investigate something new. He's kind of been pulled back into it, so it's pretty fun so far. 7174Z presents Haunted Universe. Yeah. This is just a one-shot. I don't think there's more than 1 issue, but it's Ashley Wood, which is really cool. It's hard to get Ashley Wood stuff. They don't do too much work, and they don't reprint stuff that often, but it's the, as you might be able to see, it's the 30th anniversary for Image Comics this year, so Image is just like reprinting a bunch of stuff and just like, I don't know, putting out a bunch of stuff, which is great for guys like me who want to buy more Ashley Wood comics, but you just don't find them ever. British Paranormal Society keeps going on, keeps trucking along. It's literally like in this book. The last issue had a really great twist reveal at the end, and it's really interesting how the 2 characters who are in this town for separate reasons, how now their stories are really starting to overlap, and yeah, kind of all playing together in classic small town horror kind of vibe. So yeah, I really like it. I think Chris Robertson's doing a great job. So I'm sure he'll keep writing more stuff that's maybe not so much the main Hellboy cast, like Hellboy or anyone from the BPRD, but I guess he's writing Brett Holm in this one. So, but yeah. 8 Billion Genies, issue 3. The last one was pretty cool. You learn there's this like the genies are, well, okay, we still don't know why everyone was granted a genie, but they do reveal that there's this like, I guess you could say it's a loophole where the genies themselves will cancel out wishes. So they gave the example of the United States wishes that it's someone on the presidential team wishes for the United States to be the best country and the most successful country forever. And then, test it out by calling another country, see if they'll bend over backwards, and that country doesn't. So then you find the genie's basically revealed to him like, well, every country used a wish to do this, so all those wishes just cancel each other out because it's impossible for us to have all of you be super successful and be the top dog. So there's still a ton of crazy stuff. Every time they peek outside the bar, which is where the most of the story takes place, where things are safe, or you get glimpses of what's happening in other parts of the world, it's just pure chaos and insanity. One guy though has left the bar because he needs to go find. He's trying to get to. I can't remember exactly, but there's this couple on vacation from Japan, and they end up at the bar because they get the address wrong, and he's trying to get to another bar to meet somebody. I think it's their kids or something. I don't know. But he uses his wish to basically like make me into something that'll be able to survive the world and get there and back. He gets turned into like a crazy super agent with all this cool tech, and then like goes off in the wild. So we'll see what happens there. Looks like he's maybe attacked by a werewolf vampire. I don't know. It's some cool stuff. And then I got Space Lady #1. This is a totally brand new series. I felt like I wanted to try a couple of new books because my pile was getting a little short. So I've got a few books from Behemoth before, and I've really enjoyed them. This one sounds like a space cop. She's not really down her luck, but her lifestyle is definitely starting to affect her personal life, the drinking and the debauchery. So yeah, I kind of like the art. Was really reminds me of like Jim Afton, so it's got kind of this indie vibe. So I figured check out a couple of issues, can't go wrong. Then do Powerbomb #2. First issue was a banger. It lived up to, I guess, my own personal hype. I was really excited for it. So there's some just awesome scenes of wrestling and giant splash pages, and just it's phenomenal. Yeah. Dan Warren Johnson's killing it. He did sell some of the art for the first issue. I was looking to be buying some, but it was a little bit more that I wanted to spend right now, and I don't know. I don't really have anywhere to hang it, and missed out. So maybe issue 2 will have some art coming forward. We'll see. More Shaolin Cowboy issue 3. This book is still like every month since the first issue. Like it's just a crazy story with crazy detail art. You kind of see it again in this cover. The basic plot is there's this little lizard here on his belt, a little Komodo dragon, he's in the future, he's telling his son how he met the Shaolin Cowboy and became his like student, even though he's not a student. This lizard's literally been alive for 1 day in the story, like at this point of seeing his size. And yeah, he's been fighting lizards and weird, not even aliens, but just like there's this dude in like a weird Teletubby like suit who's got a mustache, is like really tiny and flies like a flying octopus jellyfish thing. Like it's just so crazy. Like it's just so crazy. I love it. I love every minute of it, and I can't wait to see it all collected and read it again. New Young Hellboy story written by Mike Mignola. So like I said, I like Chris Robinson. Oh no, it's Craig Rousseau. Maybe he does art? I'm not too sure. I think Craig Rousseau does do art. He colors. I don't know. But I really like Young Hellboy. I really like Hellboy in general, so looking forward to reading this one too. And then Saga's back. The hiatus was much shorter than I thought, which is good because I get to read more. The last issue did have, like I said, the one was classic Saga cliffhangers, so very curious to see where this picks up now. Especially with seeing this picture like this. This looks very interesting. So, but this picture's old. If you're reading it, like some of these people have different looks right now. So, and then the last book I got in my box is The Hollow. So as I mentioned, it's 30th anniversary of Image Comics, and this is just a reprint of old Sam Keith book. The reason I paused there is I just realized looking at the covers, there's this Z image on both. Interesting. I have to investigate that. But yeah, this is another book that just, it was been out of print, so it's hard to really... Sam Keith doesn't reprint a lot of his smaller, like more independent stuff. This is just like one kind of oversized issue. I could probably even just keep it on my bookshelf, really. Oh, I think the Z's a publishing group within Image. Interesting. Okay. Cool. Well, this Z group has been printing some cool stuff, so I hope they keep it up. But yeah, I like Sam Keith, so he's obviously known for like Max, which is cool, but I like Max is great, but I really like his other stuff. He just kind of does some interesting, weird stories. And then last but not least, I don't know, but I also supported this Kickstarter not too long ago for this book called Blood Force Trauma. So I got the first 5 issues. Fifth one's the newest one. So yeah, the premise sounds really cool. It's kind of like in the near future where there's this TV show called Blood Force Trauma where people show up and fight to the death. And it's got a very like 80s vibe and just like how the 80s thought the future would look like, especially if you watch a lot of cartoons and play a lot of video games around that time. It's so influenced by cartoons and video games of the 80s. It's kind of ridiculous, but yeah, it looks really cool. I actually saw the creator, this Jake Smith, on a stream that Daniel Warren Johnson runs every Friday, and he just had him on there. They're friends and they're talking about the book and everything, and he was showing some pages like, oh, that sounds really cool. And yeah, I figured why not. It was, wasn't too expensive to get all these books and send them shipped to me, so we'll see. I think issue 5 is like this late end of volume 1 because I saw on this Kickstarter they've got a trade coming up soon too, so yeah, that should be good. And moving on, got The Last Ronin all collected, nice edition, really well put together collection. Like the spacing on between the pages is really nice. It's always something I catch really quickly, but I really like this story. Like, as I mentioned when I was reading it monthly, like, the original Ninja Turtles is definitely Eastman and Laird's kind of like, you can see the influence of Frank Miller's Daredevil throughout like the first few issues, 100%. This is them kind of like an homage to really the Dark Knight Returns. So one of the brothers has come back to New York to get vengeance or revenge, and yeah, it's awesome. Very excited that I got this and I can read it again. And finally, another edition of Berserk, Volume 3. I thought Volume 3 would have some stuff that I haven't read, but then when I flipped to, I was flipping through, I was like, no, I've read most of this as well. I'm not going to flip to the back because it's pretty adult in there, but it's, with Volume 4, definitely is when it's stuff I haven't read, so I got to start reading from Volume 1 again, just to get back in the mindset of it, and then yeah, read it like I said, every couple of months I'll get a new one. So yeah, up to about volume 5, because I think the first 5 were, I requested to get them sooner than later because the print on some of them was running low. Usually like volume 1 and 2, you're fine, they like overprint those runs, but then when you get to like 3 through 5, that's where you start to see the printing numbers drop. So I just wanted to get them get out of the way and just get them before they're gone, and then you're looking at paying like double for like a used copy where the corners are all banged up and scuffed and someone's ripped pages out or colored it or something weird. Yeah, but that's everything. Another good month, another good haul. I've got some time coming off, so I'm going to sit down, just catch up on some reading, which I'm looking forward to. But yeah, as always, send me your jeers, send me your cheers, and I'll see you next month.